A lot of great negotiators will tell you sometimes people are giving you hints about their state of mind by the words that they use.
You know my workload is heavy, the files are coming in by 2. And I just can't keep up, I got those behind on diary blues. Well, my documentation is lacking, I've got no time to write it down. Said my documentation is lacking, I got no time to write it down. But my manager says to do.
Welcome back, everyone. Looking forward to another quick session today on negotiations. We're here, of course, in front of the CN Tower. Well, not really. We're here in our studio in New Orleans, but that could be pretty boring background. So we're going to do today from the CN Tower, at least somewhat close to it anyway. All right. Well, before we get started, we have to announce our winners from last week's trivia question, and that was to win the Claims Cookbook. The first 3 people to get it right, and the question was regarding Popeye's Chicken. Al Copeland started Popeye's Chicken right here in New Orleans, and he decided to name it Popeye's, and why? After Popeye Doyle from The French Connection, because the chicken was so good it'll make your eyes pop out, or was it the nickname his daughter used to call him when she was young? And the first 3 people to get it right said, sure enough, it was Popeye Doyle from The French Connection. And so I just want to congratulate our winners. Congratulations in this order. I got emails from these 3 people saying, oh, it must have been Popeye Doyle. And you're absolutely right. So I am going to send you the only cookbook in the world dedicated to claims professionals. Okay? So congratulations to our winners. All right. Well, today's subject is hidden treasure words. What do I mean by that? A lot of great negotiators will tell you sometimes people are giving you hints about their state of mind by the words that they use. So I'm going to give you 2 statements, and your job is to tell me the difference between these 2 statements. Now, it should be pretty easy because they're very different. So you should be able to say, well, Carl, the first time you said this, and the second time you said that. What's the big deal? Good. But if you can't tell me the difference, if you're not able to, what that might mean is that you're wasting your time negotiating with some people because you're trying to treat them one way when they're really another way as far as the state of mind goes. So here comes the first one. First one is this. The customer says to you, you know, I really feel my claim's worth $20,000, and you should pay me $20,000. That's the first one. Here comes the second one. Customer says, you know, I really think my claim's worth $20,000, and you should pay me $20,000. That's the second one. Did you pick up on the difference? Some people might, some people might not. Some people might say, well, your tone was different. No, not really. Well, you emphasized something differently. No, not really. I actually used a different word in the 2 sentences. So I'll try it again. Okay, if you didn't pick it up the first time, you'll pick it up the second time. So let me try it again. You know, I really feel my claims were $20,000, and you should pay me $20,000. You know, I really think my claims were $20,000, and you should pay me $20,000. Did you get it that time? The words feel and think. Now, I don't want to stereotype, and I don't want to generalize because that's not fair. But a lot of expert claims negotiators will tell you when people use the word feel in common conversation to describe why they believe something, and they use it over and over again, they may be in an emotional state of mind. If they use the word think over and over and over again to describe why they believe something, they may be more logical or objective. Would this be helpful for you to know when you're negotiating with people which state of mind they're in? Because a lot of times we ask people, well, we're going to pay you this much money, and they say, that's not enough. Why is it not enough? We ask them to tell us, why do you believe it's not enough? Pay attention, because if they start using the word feel over and over again, that may mean they're more in an emotional state of mind. Now, it's not any time they use those words. It's certain times, which I'll talk about. But first, let me just make my point. When a person uses the word feel in common conversation over and over again, they may be more emotional. or have an emotional attachment to what they're talking about. If a person uses the word think over and over and over again, they may be a bit more objective. Now, it's when they use those words. It's not any time. If somebody says, I feel like having a hamburger, they're not in an emotional state of mind about hamburgers. Okay? We all use the words feel and think. Okay? But if somebody uses it over and over again to describe why they believe something. So let me give you an example. I say to John, John, what's your opinion of this politician? Oh, he's no good. Why is he no good? Oh, because I just feel like he's a thief and he's a liar and he's a cheat. Notice how that matches up, the word feel, with his reasons. Now ask Mary. Mary, what's your opinion of this politician? He's no good. Why is he no good? Oh, because I just don't think he did a good job pushing that last bill through. Okay, something like that. Notice how it's more objective with the word think. Now, there's a couple cautions there. Remember what I said. It's when they use those words. And when do they use them? When they're giving you the reason for why they believe something. When will that come up in claims? When we ask people why, we're going to pay $38,000. That's not enough. Why is it not enough? Pay attention to the words that they use. And oftentimes, if they use the word feel, it could be an emotional issue, and a logic isn't going to work with this person, perhaps. Okay? It's just, and we're going to find that out, by the way, in our next sections. We got lots of examples where a customer kept saying feel. I really feel my car's worth, this value, and the adjuster kept referring to the CCC report. Well, that's very logical, but right now this person kept saying over and over again, I really feel it's not enough. I really feel. Okay? For bodily injury, for those of you who workers' comp or bodily injury, a lot of time people say, I just don't feel like you guys appreciate how much pain I've been in or how difficult this has been in. And we'll try to use logic on them instead of how they're probably going to respond better with a little acknowledgement or a little empathy. Those are in sections coming up, but right now we're just laying the groundwork. Pay attention to the words. Okay? Now if they switch, sometimes they say feel, they say think, they say feel, you can't tell. If somebody says I believe, can't tell. But if someone keeps using the word over and over and over again, you want to pay attention. All right? People that are in an emotional state of mind respond better to a little empathy and acknowledgement. And people who use the word think over and over again are probably going to be a little bit more swayed by logic. All right? So that's the only lesson for today. All right? We're going to use that, by the way, in our other sections, but we got to lay the groundwork. So those are our hidden treasure words. Okay? All right, when we come back, our next subject is going to be the great negotiators versus everybody else. What is the dividing line? And it might be something a little odd. It might be something you're not expecting. So we'll do that when we come back. All right, as always, give me a call if I could help out. Send me an email. I'm happy to chat with you. I'll answer any questions you have. I'll go over any information you like. I'll even role play with you if you like. Okay, I'd be more than happy to practice with you. Now, before we go, we got to do our trivia question for the week, and this time it's going to be the 8 characteristics of the Awesome Adjuster book. Okay, the very first book I ever wrote. Today's prize is sponsored by our good friends at Latitude Subrogation, so thank you for that. All right, as always, I'm going to give you a question, give you 3 answers, and the first 3 people who email me the right answer, you're going to win the book. All right, now right now if you're watching this video, you're thinking, well, by now, other people probably have done it. No, you never know. Okay? So if you're watching this video, go ahead and send me an email. And if you're one of the first 3, I'm going to send you a book. Okay? All right. Our category is Weekly Record. Weekly Record. Here we go. Michael Jackson's Thriller album was #1 in the U.S. for 32 weeks. Think about that. 32 weeks. Although that is a long time, it holds 2nd place. 1st place, at 54 weeks, goes to a movie soundtrack. So here's your question. Which soundtrack holds the all-time record for the longest time any album has been a #1? I'll give you the 3 options. Was it the soundtrack to Saturday Night Fever? Well, you can tell by the way I use my walk, I'm a woman's man. No time to talk. Was it the soundtrack to West Side Story?
Maria, I've just met a girl named Maria.
Or was it the soundtrack to Purple Rain? Which of those 3 holds the all-time record for the longest any album has ever spent at #1 in the United States. 54 weeks, an incredible amount of time. All right, so send me an email. If you're in the first 3, you're going to win the book. If you're not, I'll let you know that you weren't, but nice try for next time. Okay. All right. I hope you enjoyed today's program, and we'll look forward to the great negotiators versus everybody else next time. All right. Thanks, everyone. All right. Well, if you like these videos, please hit the like button. Also, please subscribe. And if you would like to be notified when we do put up a new video, please choose the All button under Notifications.
Welcome to our fun claims unit. We make new friends every day. We are always smiling and happy. Where our work just seems like play. Welcome to our fun claims unit. We make new friends every day. We are always smiling and happy. Where our work just seems like play. Welcome to our unit.